Put the eighth down and come solve these problems. Man, an eighth?
All right, let's get to it. Samuel.
Yes, sir.
What do they call you where you're from? Right, that's question number one around here. What they call you where you from? Any kind of nicknames you have?
Well, my name, my real name is Chad.
What?
My middle name is Samuel.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, let me sit up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. All right, I wasn't ready for that. And I've only known you as this name. Okay, all right.
All thoughts, my friend.
All right. So, no nicknames, but you do have, you go by your middle name.
I don't go by it. It's a funny story, right? It's that my wife, I remember before when we were just in the dating phase.
Okay.
I asked her one time, I was like, you have any middle names? And she's like, oh no, we don't have middle names in Colombia. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, you have a middle name? I was like, yeah, but I don't want to tell you. Because when I was young, people laughed at Samuel, said, oh, it's an old man's name, blah, blah, blah.
But it wasn't really in Colombia. In Colombia, they use middle names.
Oh, really?
It's more like in my family, they don't really use second names.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just straight like first name and last name. And sometimes we use dad and mom last names.
What do you mean?
Like when we're signing papers, I put my name with my dad last name and my mom last name.
Got it.
It's not like here that it's only the father's last name.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's interesting. See, my dad, he never had a middle name. He's from Jamaica. He never had a middle name.
Word?
It's just first and last.
Wow.
They had a nickname. But no, first and last.
Yeah, my whole name.
So I get that. I understand that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I was like, I don't want to tell her. She's like, no, tell me. So I was like, all right. My middle name is Samuel. And she's like, what? I love that name. I was like, you serious? Or you just clonging me right now? She's like, no, I really love that name. So when she introduced me to her family, they all know me as Samuel. And it just stuck. So everyone started calling me Samuel. Even my sister calls me Mr. Samuel. So I have friends in the English world who knows me as Chad.
I've heard her do it. I'm like,
right?
Okay.
I just like, and she'll say like, oh, Mr. Samuel. It's like, who's Mr. Samuel? It's like, I told you you're Chad. So now when I introduce myself or a sign, I put Chad Samuel because I don't know what you know me as.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. So,
like back when we were speaking about in the Bible, I started reading more about Samuel because of that. And I realized he was a judge and blah, blah, blah. And it was so interesting. And, you know, I was like really searching for the truth at that time because I was going through a lot of suffering. And when I say suffering, when I came to the States, man, I was fortunate to work very hard and accomplish a lot by the age of 24. I had my first business when I was 22. So I was able to accomplish a lot by the time I was 24. By 24, I was making $500,000 a year. And I had a lot of like nice things, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't happy. I didn't have peace, man. Because being young and having that type of money, you don't have much people around your age who's doing that. You have a lot of fake friends. And then you hang out with older people, but they have families and they're competing with you. So I was in a really frustrating time.
You are their competition. You're their replacement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now that I'm an older man now, I don't look at younger people as a competition. I'm not competing with them at all. I actually want them to be great, you know?
Do you teach? Like, do you teach young people?
I don't like to use the word teach because I call no man your teacher because you only have one teacher, which is God. And he uses that by the Holy Spirit, but that's a whole deeper thing.
Okay.
But my teaching, if I do have to use the word teaching for the sense of communicating, is by my actions. I think actions speak louder than words, right? I do what I say and I say what I do, right? And if it's of God's will and he allows it to happen, then that's what it is,
Okay.
right? So that's the way how I will teach,
Okay.
by my actions, not by words, by action.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got the name Samuel. And Samuel is almost like an alias type of thing. So,
Okay.
so now it's real. So now you know,
Yeah. Chad.
know
Chad.
your family.
Right.
You know my name, Chad.
Right. Okay. Now, Chad, is that from anyone in your family, or are you named after anyone?
Man, my dad's name is George, so my name is Chad Samuel George Carrington, or Chad George Samuel Carrington, you know. And my dad was going to name me George, but my grandmother, my mom's side, when I was born, she was like, "Man, he looks like a Chad." I don't know where she got it from. I think she was looking at too much the sitcom called Hospital or something. It was some surgeon, and yeah, that's how I got the name Chad. Yeah, so now I'm Chad Carrington, very British.
CC. Okay. Any mottos in life? Like, what's your motto in life? Words to live by, words to die to. You have any motto?
Yeah, I do. When I was 12, I used to mine, goats one time in my life. And we had 8 goats back in Trinidad. And one time I'm out in the field and this guy was just walking through the field. And he was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I'm like, "Just here with the goats." And he had these headphones on. I'm like, "What you listening to?" He's like, "I'm listening to Bob Marley." I'm like, "What's Bob Marley?" He's like, "You don't know who Bob Marley is?"
Right.
It's like, "Nah, man, I don't know who Bob Marley is." And he make me listen to Bob Marley. I remember Bob Marley was singing about David and Solomon. I'm like, "Who's David and Solomon?" He's like, "Well, Solomon's the wisest man ever lived."
Yep.
That's like the wisest man ever lived. So this gentleman used to come almost every day, and this was during summer. And we would just listen to Bob Marley, start showing me stuff in the Bible, start talking about Solomon. And I remember one day, school reopened, and I was outside doing my schoolwork. I was looking at the sunset. I live on a mountain, like. And I said, "God, make me wise like Solomon. I want to be wise like Solomon." And at that moment, this came into my head. Don't chase wealth, but chase wisdom, because with wisdom comes wealth.
It's true.
But it wasn't a physical wealth. This is what I've learned along the years. It is a spiritual wealth. And no man can teach you that but God himself. So when you ask me like, "How old you are?" People's like, "Man, how old you are? How are you so wise?" And blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Listen, no man can teach you this. That's God himself. But in order to get wisdom, he puts you through trials and tribulations." So that's what I live by.
The friend who was listening to the Bob Marley,
Yeah.
and he introduced it to you,
Yeah.
it sounds like you wouldn't consider him like a teacher in that situation.
It's funny because this guy, the reason why he was coming by is that his brother died. His brother got murdered. And he was going through a mourning process. And as much as he was showing me stuff, he himself was learning.
Yes, as we all are.
Because he was a young man as well, but he lived a very rugged life. And when we started reading the Bible, we weren't understanding most of it. You know, we were young, we were juvenile, like things were beyond our understanding. And we used to look at each other, and he probably was like maybe about 2-3 years older than me. And I remember him asking me, he's like, "What do you think that means?" And I was like, "I don't know, what do you think it means?" But we just never really knew, you know, and he just disappeared.
Damn.
I don't know who this guy was, man. I can't remember his name.
Can I say something to that one?
Sure.
Because that's when, like, I would say that people are brought into your life for reasons,
Yeah, man.
right?
Yeah.
So some people may stay for a long time and some people may not, but
Yeah.
the impact is real nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, and that's from the creator.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm leaning to what you're saying in the sense of no man can really be a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, he'll put things in your path
Right.
to help you along your journey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, that really changed my life, man. I started reading a lot of books, and I read a lot of books just like yourself.
Yeah.
But even with reading all these books and learning theories from other men, it was still just their theory.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I'll speak to that real quick.
Yeah.
So you take what resonates with you.
Yeah.
You cast away the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can apply it to your life, use it.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, move on, move forward. I think, but that comes with discernment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a gift from the Creator as well.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has discernment.
Mm-hmm. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Discernment.
Yes, sir.
You know, like people think it's like judging, but it's really discernment.
Nah, man, that's how you stay safe. That's how you stay dangerous. Whatever. You make them type of calculations every day and don't even think about it. Do I need to go left, go right, go straight? What do I need to do? That's discernment to a certain degree if you tapped in the right way.
That's
Is that
true.
like
And you're guided.
Yeah, truth.
You tapped into a source and you guided.
Yeah.
By a force. I'm sorry.
No. I just said it's like an instinct.
Yes. But that raw instinct, you could be tapped into the wrong source and it'll have you going in a different direction.
Yeah.
And you'll be saying, well, my gut told me to do it. And it did.
Yeah.
But what are you tapped into?
Yeah.
That's guiding you.
I don't think humans have instinct. I think we have consciousness.
Amen.
Like
True.
instinct is
animal.
it's an animalistic trait.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dog, when we called her, she responds to instincts.
Okay.
But I think is
We do too.
no, but that's us. I think that's us humans. That's what we're trained to thought on a lower level
Yes.
to be controlled.
Yes. Most
But
definitely.
I think on the highest spectrum of a human, it's consciousness. Like what we're doing now. Like when she's
It's being present.
It's being present. Consciousness is present. Yeah.
You know, and like when we were speaking about Rastaman always spoke about being conscious. It's like it's a consciousness. So when they smoke herb, it slows you down into a form of consciousness, right? But we as human beings, we don't have to use herb to be slowed down, to be in a consciousness, because the mind is moving so much to and fro. The devil is taking us out of consciousness. So we smoke the herb to keep us in consciousness.
Right.
But if you can master the highest form of a human being, the herb is within you and you can be in consciousness. If that makes any sense.
They do.
Yeah. So it's not an instinct.
Right.
It's like when you're in consciousness, you're aware, right, of your surroundings.
Right.
So it's a consciousness.
Yes, sir. Okay. Has someone ever given you a last chance?
A last-
A last chance? And for what?
What you mean by last chance?
Come on, man. Ultimatum type thing. Like,
Yeah.
Say, hey, Samuel, like you can't do this no more, man. It's going to be some serious consequences negatively if this happens.
Yes, man.
So yeah, have you been presented with a last chance?
I think so.
Okay. I ask these type of questions because maybe not us, but generally speaking,
Yeah.
we give them. We give ultimatums, but it's rare that we receive them well, So I like to see how people work through these situations.
That's a very interesting question. Everyone may perceive a last chance of, you want something that's, I don't know, maybe negative. I remember this one time, man, like you have to understand, I went from, not having much to making a lot of money, to having a lot of things, living in $1 million home, fancy cars, no friends, fake friends, whatever. And I just had a lot of businesses. And when I got into the art industry, I remember it was really, really tough. It was a lot of demonic activity going on within myself and around me. And I lost a bunch of money. I lost possibly about over $100,000. And I thought it was the end of the world, man. I started losing my businesses and things was really tough. And I didn't know how to deal with it because you got so comfortable in a space of, quote unquote, being successful, right? Chad Samuel has all the answers. He's that guy, like nobody's worried for you. Like you'll figure it out and blah, blah, blah. But then some real tedious obstacles come in your way. And I remember like my mind was telling me like, you can't deal with this. Take suicide, kill yourself. You got mental health. You have this, you have that. Nobody likes you. People who believe in you, your failure, your disappointments. And, you know, what my wife think about, what my sister think about, what my employees think about me and all these things, right? Just devil just throwing all these things in my head.
Right.
And one day I'm at my shop and for some reason on YouTube was a video of these two guys. One is a Rasta man, well, a guy with dreads, and one is a guy with bald head. Two black guys. One is younger, the one with the locks. The one with the cut hair and the suit, he's the older gentleman. And something has told me like, look at this video. And I think I kind of like gravitated towards it because I saw the guy with the locks, looking all black conscious and stuff. And at that time I was like growing locks on my hair. And when I listened to the conversation, at first I'm like agreeing with the guy with the locks, right? Because misery likes company.
Right.
So it's giving me reason to like gloat in my pain, in my hell.
Right.
But the older guy was just saying stuff that was like cutting, like really cutting. But you know, deep down inside, like this man is speaking the truth. It's like what we were saying earlier, like
Yeah, that's what you need to
the
hear.
real friend who's going to take you out of misery. You know, he's going to be like, yo, your breath smells stink. That's why people don't want to speak to you.
Thank you.
Know, like,
Come on, man. What we
damn, like nobody ever told me that before. Don't know why people were like running away from me. You know, you thinking the person has a problem is you. And this guy was cutting. This person was speaking about forgiving your mother and your father. I was like, forgiving your mother and your father? I was like, what the hell my mother and my father did to me, right?
Okay, let's talk about it. Well, yeah,
But-
yeah, what do you, yeah.
But I remember feeling like, I don't know for you, but for me, I used to think about like, why do I feel I'm smarter than my parents right now? Why my parents couldn't do this and I had to, and how I can see it, but they can't see it. But you have to realize is that your parents were once young people. Your parents were once people who went through their parents and so on and so on and so on. They all have their issues, right? And they only did the best that they could.
With what
But
they have.
as a child growing up, I'm no longer a child. I'm an adult man. I'm like 38 years old. At that time, I'm like, listen, I can't keep on blaming your father and your mother. You have to start taking some type of responsibility for yourself.
Right.
So he's like, you have to go back to your mom and forgive your mom, but apologize for resenting her. Apologize to your dad for resenting him because that's anger. And anger, you lose yourself in anger. You don't see clearly when you have anger.
Agreed.
I was like, wow, this is interesting. Because for many years, I'll look at my mom and she'll be reading the Bible and I'll be like, gosh, man, I can't. For some reason, I just can't stand my parents. I don't know what it was. We say that you love your parents, but for some reason, we see flaws in them, right? Yes.
Love, especially in these type of relationships, that's the easy part. Do I like you? Do I want to be around you? I'm obligated to you because I love you. We family type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The blood.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's certain stuff we have totally different beliefs.
Yeah.
See what I mean? But it's certain stuff I gotta still go do because I'm obligated to you and I'm gonna be around you. I love you. I love you.
Yeah.
I do. And if you need me, I'm there. I
Yeah.
got you. But do I like you?
Yeah.
That is very important that I don't think people understand.
But and then you
Go
start,
ahead, though,
and then you
bro.
start
Go
thinking
ahead.
to yourself, brother, like,
Woo.
if you wasn't my parent, would we be friends? You know? If you wasn't my sister, would we be friends, right?
You feel me?
I mean, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family, right? So when I went and forgave
Right.
my mom
Right.
and
That's
you
real.
know, apologize for resenting her, at first I know she's probably thinking like, will you forgive me for, right? But then she accepted it. And she's like, you know what? You're right. Because my mom, you know, my parents got divorced. And in divorce, most of the time the kids end up with the mother, right? And the mother, because she has a bitter relationship with the father, she's going to put all that bitterness into you. she's going to say, well, your dad this, your dad that, blah, 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 blah. Because women, once they come out of a relationship with a man, if you really think about it, it's always the man's fault, right? But men will never say, well, your mom did this, because men don't have time to really gossip. You know, they go about the business.
Right.
So the woman will always tell you, as children, your dad left us. When truth and in fact, your dad never left you. He left your mom.
Right.
And he couldn't deal with your mom because he didn't want to hear all the bickering and the noise and stuff.
That is true only if the father remained in the children's life.
Right.
Because there are times when a man will leave a woman, and because he can't be with the woman, he's not with the children.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad got divorced when I was 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
Didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
Dad still was in my life. The only thing that happened was the house got a little thinner. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't at the house no more, and some stuff left.
Yeah.
But that same weekend, I'm with my pops. You know what I'm saying? I'm with him all the time. He coming to get me from school, like normal. Coming to my practices, just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Mom was there. Everybody was there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go so far as to say I didn't even know they was gonna get a divorce because I never heard them argue.
Yeah.
They kept that type of stuff away from me. I didn't know it was nothing wrong.
Same here. Same here.
I didn't even know.
I saw my dad all the time.
Okay, so he didn't leave you.
No,
well, not the children. He left the woman.
But you know, you always want the parents to be in the house together.
Yes,
you know,
of course, that's ideal.
Yeah, that's ideal. That's what you want. That's what you yearn for.
Yes, I agree.
You know, so when you go out into the world, you're doing everything in your power, what you think is in your power, to not make that mistake.
Right.
Right?
I agree.
So when life is going against you, because most of the time you're going to end up with a woman who's like your mom.
Or the opposite. Or the total opposite.
Well, sometimes you don't think. Sometimes for us, we don't really know who our parents are. It's like finding out that your parents smoked herb at 22 years old.
Yeah.
Because they hid it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But because it's in your blood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You get attracted to what you know. And you will see qualities in your wife that when you start growing up, you're like, shoot, my mom does stuff like that.
I got to push back a little bit on that one. Mm-hmm. And I say that it's either or. So what you're saying is correct, or it's the total opposite. So meaning I grew up with an example of something. I constantly seen an example of something, right? Now, either as a man, as a woman, as a person in life, there's only two things I can do from that observation. I can either carry on tradition, or I can break the cycle, start anew.
Right.
So if I saw correctness in certain things that my mom did when I was younger, I would possibly see that in, I'm choosing a mate that's going to replicate kind of some of those same things.
Right.
If I saw negative or incorrectness in what some of the things that she was doing, I don't think that I would want to adopt that into my mate, my partner for the rest of my life, the lady I'm going to choose. So that's why I'm saying, like, okay, either yes, because that's my first example. That's my first love. That's who I fell. You know what I'm saying? As a man, just like as a boy, mother is the first love. So I get what you're saying on that part.
Yeah.
But
don't get me wrong.
If it's different, I'm choosing total opposite.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. What you think?
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. And when I was going through that type of transformation in my life, spiritually, I agree with what you're saying. But now that I'm out of a physical body experience and I'm living more in a spiritual sense, I see that the spirit of the woman is very similar to of your mother. It may be in the sense of like, I got to protect my mom. You got to protect your wife.
Very
right?
True. Very true.
If your mom says, go get me bread at the grocery store, and your wife is like, go get it, you do it because it's that same type of spirit. Right?
Yeah, most definitely. But I'm on the same way too. Like all of them. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The women in your life, you're going to treat them a certain way.
And
I get it. I get that.
And the mothers were like, say for example, as a kid, you fell and you bruised your knee. She's going to be like, oh, darling, don't worry about it. Come here. And if you start crying, she wants to nurture you.
Okay.
You might end up with a woman if you go through some type of tribulation in your life, money-wise. She'll be like, don't worry about it, babe. We won't see through it, type of thing, right? And it's called a comfort. women are comforters. Men, we are not.
Nurturers, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you grew up more with your father's and he grew up with his father, you will get the spirit of like, oh, you fall and bruise your knee, pick your ass up, dust it off, keep it going, it's gonna heal. Right?
Yeah, man.
So we become attracted to what we hate without even recognizing it. Because like my mom, I remember going to school and she's like, wanna give you a kiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, man, I want my mom to give me no kiss. Mm-hmm. And your friends looking at you like, oh, your mom, she got the lipstick on your cheeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your wife now, you go out somewhere and you feel like, oh, babe, I'm going to the bathroom. Oh, give me a kiss.
Go to the bathroom.
And she's like, oh, give me a kiss. Right? It's like, let me,
that's carrying it on though. Like something that you saw and you saw correctness in that. And keep that going.
But you ever see like kids when their mom kiss them, they're like wiping it off?
Yeah.
Right? Because truth be told is she's imposing her will on the child because when man and woman first get together, they're affectionate. Men do things to make women feel pleasure, affectionate wise. Right. But as the relationship go on, we start saying like, I don't want to hug. We're on the bed together. Back then, if you're on the bed together, you hugging your woman, you spooning. As the relationship goes on, give me some space, right? So now you come and you have kids now, and the woman is not getting that same affection she was getting from you at first. So now what she does, she wants to get affectionate, so she puts it on the children. I am your mother. Give me affection. Right. Give me the kisses. Give me this. And now she starts telling you, but your dad, he's not really affectionate. See, I tell you I love you. Your dad doesn't say I love you. Right? But dad is going out every day and providing. That's how men show love. By providing. He loves his kids. But women, they have to say it verbally. So as a young man growing up, from the time you meet another woman and she says, I love you, whoop, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. No.
So that's what I mean by that.
No, I get that. I still go back to the balance.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you have to have balance. Yes.
So when the man is to go out and do the providing and show love that way, he also can show affection to the children. He also, I would say, make sure to put in work in that relationship. Mm-hmm. Don't get lost with the children. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's natural. I get that, but man.
But you ever realize that
we came together and created this life?
But you ever realize that mothers, even you could be a grown man and you're like, that's my baby.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, I ain't knocking that. Of course. I get that.
Fathers don't do that.
No, but they can show affection in a different way. Like their way.
And what will that be?
Okay. So the same way that you said how like, you know, you might fall and, you with your dad and you scrape yourself and they put some, rub some dirt on it, man, get up. You know what I'm saying? Like they, you tough like that. Like you can do that if that's what you see fit, but maybe teach within that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe use some communication in that to where I'm not going to nurture you like your mama would. I ain't going to baby you like your mama would, but I'm finna talk to you in this situation so we can make this a learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like impart some wisdom in you. So that way you don't do this same thing again to get hurt the same exact way. You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Just maybe you learn from this so you don't get hurt the same way again.
Right.
Like that's me taking my time and my knowledge and putting that in my little whatever, my little man or little woman, or, you know what I'm saying? That's a form of affection as well. That's what I'm saying. Like I can show affection in different ways by being a man.
Right.
I ain't do what my mama did. My mama gonna kiss my boo-boo. My mama gonna make sure I'm straight. She gonna get me right. My daddy, he should, but we don't do it like that.
My father didn't tell me he was proud of me until I turned 40 years old. And that's because, and I love him for that. Yeah. I love my father so much for that. And that's because that's when it was deserving. I remember this person was like, you see a little child walk up 2 flights of stairs, or say, let's make it more simple. The time the child makes its first footsteps, walking steps, everybody starts to clap.
Yes, I agree.
Why?
Well, development, progress.
But that's right. But the thing is, a child comes home now as a teenager and gets an A in class, and mommy starts to clap.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to get A's in class.
Right.
Right? Well, you're supposed to do that. It's not like, oh, I get it. So now what's going to start happening? The child, as it develops, every little thing that he or she thinks is right is going to want a clap. Is going to want some type of gratitude or gratification right away, and that weakens a person. These are things that we're supposed to do. You're supposed to brush your teeth. You're supposed to comb your hair. You don't clap for these things. You're supposed to do it.
Okay.
Now, when this child has lived a life of failures and prosperity and overcome all of it, that's when it's deserving, right? You don't clap for the person who became third in a race. You clap for Usain Bolt, who has worked very hard and went through trials and tribulations and became the fastest runner in the world.
Right.
Because we have something called ego.
Yeah.
And that ego could be used to destroy you. And that is what mothers install in a lot of children. And that's why when we look at the world today, the world, like, look at the blacks, for example.
Okay.
Us as black people, for years we were told, oh, slavery, 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 slavery. And now they're telling us that we need not redemption, but which part they give you back money and all that type of stuff, right? And now you have white people saying, well, oh, because of slavery, they went through this, so give them this. Because of slavery, they went through that, so give them that. And you could just be bad behaved, but because of slavery, just leave it alone. Let it be. That's not making people better. That's making people worse. You are actually enabling people and having them being stuck in the past when they should be in the present. You're not encouraging the person to become a better civilized human being. You're robbing the person its life. It's satanic in my word, in my belief, right? If I had to keep on looking at what my parents did or what my life was, how could I be here on this podcast having this conversation because you think I am a quote unquote successful person or interesting person? Let people go through their stuff.
What do you do? What do you do? Because I mean, you said that, and you brought it up a few times through our conversation.
Yeah. Success?
No. Just in the sense of because you talked about how you had, you had a form of success, like what people would say successful, because you had money, successful businesses, and you lost money, but also no one knows what you do. Like, you got to understand that. I know what you do, everyone here, but just listening wise.
Yeah, I'm a jeweler by trade.
Okay.
/ watchmaker.
Okay.
So, I'm a second generation jeweler. My father's a goldsmith, so it's in the blood.
Okay.
Right. So, I used to have a lot of jewelry stores, inside of Sears, department stores. And the watch and jewelry, I owned 7 of them, and I had 2 art galleries. And now I have 1 shop, which is a boutique, and that's what I do now.
Okay. Now, you gave me a little more insight because I never knew that. And I want to touch on something that you said many times, like we've had in personal conversation, but you even said it on the recording. When I came to your shop, like in Sears, right?
Yeah.
For me to see everything that you built, I was impressed.
Yeah.
But for you, it sounds like this was a low point for you in your career. Would you say that? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would you say that when I came into your life, when we met each other, our paths crossed, this was like a low point for you as far as career wise? Yeah.
I perceived it to be that way.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I perceived it to be that way because I was angry.
Yeah.
Because before I became born again spiritually, which is another thing, I thought having more was me being successful. I was caught up in the idea of like the first black man to do this. Because I'm black, that's why I'm not achieving the accolades, because I wanted the claps. Look at my first footsteps, Oh, he spoke at a young age. He graduated before his time. I was looking for that. And when life punched me right in the face and knocked me out in front of millions of people, which I perceived, the champ got knocked down. I did like Mike Tyson and bit the ear off. So that point when I met you, I perceived me to be in a low place, not knowing God had teared me down to build me back up.
Right.
And what all my stores have done, the 7, 10 stores, whatever, I am now doing beyond that with this one shop because of my state of mind.
Man.
I'm a little complex person.
Nah, bro, not at all. I'm with you all the way.
Yeah.
I'm with you all the way. You just said something, man. I talk about that. So in order to build, anything, like, you have to destroy.
Yeah.
I don't know if people really understand that. Like, just to even get a solid foundation,
Truth.
you got to destroy.
Truth.
And then rebuild.
True.
But brick by brick, solid, know?
True.
So it takes that sometime.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just made me think about that, man.
But are we building to show people, or are you building for the one who gave you life?
So that question makes me think of, are we building to gain, or are we building to become more God-like?
Well, I believe that us men were created so God can make love through us. And
you said that. I'm sorry. See, you just said that a few times. What does that mean? I heard you the first time when you said it. God making love through us. I get it, but that's my interpretation. What you mean when you say that, man?
It's like you're doing it right now.
Okay.
God created you, and now you're on this earth, and you have made this podcast to share amongst people of what you think is interesting. But you were influenced by God to do this. So through you, we are now doing a podcast for like-minded people to keep this journey going on, to build, to make, to show that it's okay to be broken down. Through mess, greatness can come about. You have to cut trees down, forests down to build communities. And you're going to get splinters. Some people may lose limbs, but beauty is going to come out of it. And that is God. He has used us men to do that. Through a woman getting pregnant and having a baby, when she's pushing that baby, it's a lot of pain and it's messy. But as soon as that baby comes out, there's no more pain. And life comes and we see the glory of God's love. So that's what I mean, that God has made us to create love through us.
How'd you go from the meals, like having the money to Sears? How'd you get to that? Like did you have the money before you got to Sears, or how did that work?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, when I came to America, my dad had a jewelry store, and I'll make it quick.
Nah, bro, listen.
I don't want to bore the audience with my stories.
Like I told you, man, it's us for politicking, and if they like mines, they gonna like this. So go ahead, man, because sometimes I think, we think that we walk this path, like we go through stuff alone, and it's somebody out there that's listening and be like, man, yeah, I went through that or something similar.
Yeah.
And I see that they made it through.
Yeah. True.
I needed to hear that.
True.
Because we just need to see examples.
Can't stop the vibe.
Go ahead.
So my dad had a jewelry store when I first came here. And I remember working at his shop. He hired this guy. He was from the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy could speak so eloquently, right? And you have to understand, I was raised in a country was predominantly black. So all I saw was blackness, right?
Yeah.
Right? And coming to the States, you see, especially in Florida, there's a lot of white people. And there's a lot of old white people.
Yeah.
But this guy was so fearless. He can speak so well. And he can sell anything. And he has such a likable personality. So I remember one time asking him, like, how you do that? And he was like, just be in the moment, read, just learn body language and blah, blah, blah. But I was like maybe 16 years old at the time. And I was like, wow, interesting. So I used my dad's jewelry store just to kind of observe. But I always knew I wanted to be in business. And maybe jewelry business was it. And the first day I opened up a watch. And I was like, you know what, Dad? This is what I want to do. I want to do the watch aspect of it. He's like, okay. So he kind of like put me under some other people's wings to kind of know about watches and so on. And when was 9/11? In 2000, 2001? He had to close the business down because business was bad. I was like, damn, what am I going to do now?
Right.
So I went to SPC College, which is St. Petersburg College for who don't know. And while I was there, I was just telling this story yesterday. While I was there, I remember getting my first credit card, my Capital One card, had like $1,250 on it. And I went to buy the books, and the books came up to $1,200. I was like, gee whiz, like, they just took up all my money.
Right.
So I remember going to the person at the register, and I was like, listen, could I sell these books back? And she's like, yeah, just bring them back and we'll give you back some money for it. I was like, okay, cool. So I did the first semester, I got my 12 credits. But while I was in the classroom, I started looking around. I was like, these people going to school for business? And at that time, I was like, these people don't look like business.
Right.
But I'm looking at the school. They were building more buildings and more classrooms. I was like, no, this is the business. The school is the business. So after the first semester, I went back to the book place and I took my books and it's like, no, we're not going to buy your books back. I'm like, why? It's like, because now the curriculum is on the computers. I'm like, ain't this about a bitch? So I went to my dean or the counselor or whatever. And I was like, listen, I'm dropping out. And she was like, why would you do that? I was like, because the school is a business. And she's like, no, child, don't do it. You need your education, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to find my way.
Right.
I'm going to open up a business. America's the land of opportunity. Right. Something's going to happen. Right. So for that very moment, I remember going around to strip malls, looking at empty places to see how much the rent will be. In the meantime, I didn't really have a real job. So I started like delivering newspapers. I had my condo to make and delivering newspapers and cutting lawns and cleaning pools and, just trying to do little odds and ends. I was still living under my dad's house, so I didn't have to worry about shelter. I did have my little car payment to make $250 a month. So, one day my dad comes back and he's like, Chad, I found a place you can work. I'm like, really? He's like, well, Sears. I was like, Sears? What is that? He's like, but they do watches, so it'll be something good for you to get your feet wet. I'm like, okay. So I went in there and, it's like all, it's a new thing. I only work with my dad,
Yeah, man.
And most of the times if I'm cutting lawn, whatever, it's by myself. So I was like, okay. So while I was there, I'm meeting a whole different breed of people. Cause now this is the department store. It's like other employees but the department I was working for wasn't owned by Sears. Yeah. It was owned by an owner.
Right.
Right. And he had 30 stores. Damn. I was like, that's what I said. I was like, damn. Yeah. I was like, I got to meet this guy.
Right.
But you always talk to him on the phone. It had a manager, so you could never reach this person.
Yeah. Yeah. As it should be. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you.
So after about 4 years of me working there, and I will tell your audience this, I always treated that place of my employment as though I owned it. Meaning that I never pretend to be the boss, but I treated it as a learning experience, how to deal with the customers, whether or not being insulted, breaking a watch, coming to work late and taking responsibility or coming to work on time. Like if they wanted me to work a Sunday, a double shift, just doing it, just working. The kids would say grinding. I would just put my best foot forward until after about 4 years, the guy was getting ready to sell all his stores. He's getting ready to retire. I'm like, man, I would like to own one of these things. Right. So I went to my manager because we got close at the time. I was like, you think Larry Williams will sell me one? He's like, you got money? I was like, I have a little money saved up. Not much, few thousand, couple thousand, $2,000, whatever.
You told him that or you just knew that in your head?
I just knew that in my head.
Good. Okay.
So he was like, well, Larry Williams is coming to the office now. This is the first time I'm meeting this man. And he had that real southern accent. He was from like North or South Carolina. And I remember him showed up. He white. He white. White.
I mean, you're dealing in business. So, mm-hmm. I mean, come on.
I remember him showing up. I was like, okay, this is my opportunity, right? And he took the manager out for like lunch and they're taking a long time. I was like, I hope he comes back this way. I'm excited. My armpits are wet. My hands is clammy. So as soon as I got the opportunity, I was like, excuse me, Mr. Williams, I'm Chad. He's like, yeah, I know you do real good for the business and the company. And we spoke about you because you do good numbers. I'm like, thanks. I was like, I would like to get the opportunity to own one of the stores because I heard you're selling them off. At that time, I was 21. It's going to be 22 that year. And he's like, walk with me. So he told me walk with the ultrasonic machine that he was taking with him. An ultrasonic machine is a cleaning device for those who don't know in jewelry. And while I'm walking out, he had this beautiful Lexus and he opens up the trunk. He's dressed so nice. He just looks so professional, you know? I was like, wow, this guy's like the ultimate businessman. I have my Timberland boots on, polished with dress pants on to look like business appropriate as much, you know, my shirt and my pants. Like,
you're a young man.
I'm a young man.
You have your own style.
Yeah.
They understand that.
Yeah.
They you know.
And he looks at me. He's like, so you want to own one of my shops? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, but you're so young, you know, you're 21. I know you do good. I was like, but listen, I got my dad who, you know, he's a goldsmith. I can do it if you give me the chance. And he's like, I'll think about it. About a month goes by, and the shop that I wanted, which was at the West Shore Mall in Tampa, he sold it to some other people. At that moment when I heard the news, my manager came and told me he sold it. My heart broke. I ain't gonna lie, my heart broke, man. I'm like, man. But I didn't give up hope. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go introduce myself to the people who he sold it to. And it was this Spanish couple.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
An older man. He can't speak no English, and his daughter. But the daughter was probably like in her 30s at the time. So I'm like, hi, my name is Chad. You know, I used to work for Action Time. I still do because he didn't sell the one I was working at the moment. But I was like, but if you guys ever need any like assistance, because I don't like to use the word help. And she was like, okay, but I can't pay you because, you know, we're just starting and I don't have a no hiring sign. I was like, no, I work for free. So I did that for 5 months, working for free. I'll go to my jobs, and then on my days off, I will go there and work for free, like all day. And sometimes she'll just leave me there because she had kids. So she had to go back and forth, pick up her kids. And she'll have me open and close. And I was running the business as though I was employed, right? So I ended up like the last month getting a little busy, like the 5th month, because I took on another job working at JCPenney doing their watch repair. So I had to find a way to transition to make more money if I'm going to open my own business, right? I need money for rent and for equipment and all that stuff, right? So I had like a goal. So on my 22nd birthday, December 3rd, I remember I was living in a nice apartment because, you know, I got my 2 jobs. So I'm making a little money. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, bro. I'm drinking wine. I'm looking at my knucklehead friends in the living room, drinking all my drinks, you know, just leeching off of me. And I remember like looking at them. I was like,
tell them how you really feel.
Yeah. You know, Marlon.
yeah, you got to get about your life, man.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't continue to live like this, man. These men, what's the deal? And I get a phone call from Miami. I'm like, that number looks kind of familiar because I remember seeing the number calling the shop. And it was Larry Williams. After 10 at night, calling me on my birthday. So I answered the phone. This is like a Friday. I answered the phone. I'm like, hey, Mr. Williams. He's like, hey, Chad. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm in Tampa. I was like, okay, everything all right? He's like, everything's cool. He's like, you still want to own a shop? I'm like, of course I would love to own a shop. I'm excited. I'm young, man. I'm like, so he's like,
no poker face right
yeah,
now.
no poker face. I had, my panties was down.
Oh, man, we gotta negotiate. Go ahead.
So I was like, yeah, where at? He's like, West Shore. I'm like, West Shore?
Oh, you proved yourself.
I'm like, what happened to the people? He's like, she got burnt out, man. She couldn't do it. And the dad can't run it because he don't speak no English. And it's like Christmas season. So he was like, how could you give up the business in this time? And she's like, who am I going to find? And she was like, call Chad. He worked here for almost 6 months for us for free. That's the guy. And the next morning at 8:30, I was in a meeting with Larry Williams to own my own business. I was like, listen, I ain't got no money, right? This is why the negotiation started coming. I was like, but I take responsibility for my actions. Let's do a contract for maybe 2 years, and every month I will pay you back for the inventory plus whatever interest and stuff that we come to an agreement on.
Now, you proposed that.
Yes.
You came to the table with a proposal.
Yeah.
You didn't wait for him to propose something to you.
No.
Ambitious. Keep going, man.
Yeah.
You know, but also, like, that's a plan. Like,
Yeah.
okay, listen, I was finna say, I said keep going, but hold on, slow down just for 1 second. Man, you like 21, 22 in this era, right?
I just turned 22. 22 on a day.
Like, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But as a, 30-year-old, 35, 40, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
At 21, 22,
Yeah.
thinking like that.
Yeah.
That's where that influence come from. Is that dad because of the business?
It's in the blood, right?
I get it. True.
But remember,
we young and dumb, but we do some crazy stuff when we young.
I know.
So, it's different.
Yeah. But remember in the story I told you about the guy who spoke eloquently?
Yes.
At my dad's shop?
Yes.
I started going to the bookstores, like Barney's, Books and Nobles, and I couldn't buy the books, but I used to sit there and read the books. And one book he told me to read was Trump, The Art of Negotiation, right? And Anthony Robbins, this which party said, always take responsibility for your actions. And Trump was saying that always listen to what the person may have to say, body language. But if I shoot a proposal, I have a second plan on what I can now see on the back end. Yeah. So I took a little bit of those things.
Yeah.
And I know he's a businessman, and I also know he's in a bind. I know this is his big money time. He has no one who knows the craft, knows the business from his standard, and I'm that guy.
Right.
So I am the one that have the advantage. Right? So that is what I use. That's where the idea came from. But because of that, I read over the contract. It was a straightforward contract that we came to agreement.
So he agreed to your terms?
He agreed to my terms.
Man.
Right? Of course, it was a little bit of nickel and diamond type of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, being young and maybe a little bit excited, I could have made a better negotiation. Yeah. But it worked for the time because my foot is in the door.
Yeah, man.
May not be all the way in, but my toes in.
Yeah, positioning and you where you need to be right now.
Correct.
Yeah, got it.
And that first year of me owning the business, I brought the business in from 60,000 to 130,000.
There we go.
In the first year.
Yeah.
When they saw those numbers, Chicago themselves called him. Chicago was at the top of Sears and said, "What's happening there? Who do you have there? We want to offer this guy, or you should offer this guy one of your other stores." The other store that he gave to me was Brandon. That shop did over $300,000 a year.
Now, when you were introduced to Brandon, was it already a moneymaker, or?
It was already a moneymaker.
Okay, so you just kept it going and you kind of boosted it.
Right.
Good.
So by the time I was 23, going to 24, I owned 2 stores, and from there the rest is history.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I just kept on empowering myself around other businessmen. Again, keeping my cup empty and just, learning, going through the burns, going through the trials, going through the tribulations. And at that point, I just saw myself as Chad. I never saw myself as black. I never saw myself as short. I never saw myself as an immigrant. It's opportunity. Take the opportunity, make it the best that you can, and be in that moment. And it went from 1 store to 7 stores.
Yes, sir.
Along the way, I got a little bit ambitious. The ego.
Nah, it's in you. Okay, you know yourself better than yourself than I do, so I can't say that. But I'm just listening to everything you told me, and that's your trajectory. Meaning, like, it's in you to be to go out and get it. Like if you see an opportunity, why wouldn't I? Now we gotta have a calculated risk.
Yeah.
And, don't just gamble the whole thing because that don't seem like that's you.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get burnt in situations. Yeah. They all ain't gonna pan out.
Yeah.
So that if it was ego or not. So I can't say on that. But from everything you've done, you kind of went the way you were supposed to go. In a sense, just to get to this point where you are now. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But what happened along the way that, you know, when you're young, like I see making $500,000 at 24, 25 years old. I mean, I'm buying brand new Lexus from the showroom. I'm like, you know, new money type of mentality. So
Yes,
I'm like taking all my boys out. I'm going to Blue Martini. I'm buying bottles of champagne, like dumb shit, you know?
The experiences, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you never experienced it.
Yeah, never experienced
You
it.
had to get it out your system.
Yeah.
Now you know better.
Yes.
See, but
Yes.
I can't blame you for what you didn't know.
Yeah.
But once you do know, what do you do with that knowledge?
Yeah.
See, that knowledge is power. I kick that to the curb.
Yeah.
If I know it, I got to apply it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I got something new. I thought this is what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I did it and like, oh man, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So now I learned from that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
And then people coming up younger, I'm going to try to tell them the same thing. But watch this. They
Yeah.
may listen, they may not. Because sometimes you just got to experience it for yourself.
You
Even
do.
though you told me and I seen what happened.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm different.
Yeah.
So,
But even
man.
even with me saying I'm different, I had to like even tone that down.
yeah.
Because are you really different?
Nah.
Are you?
Nah.
You know?
Nah.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Amen.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, you know.
Okay.
But now, after going through all the trials and tribulations, the failures and stuff, when I was younger, I always had an idea of like, okay, I'm going to go out to work today and make $1,000, right? Now I live my life with none of that, no expectations. If it's zero today, it's zero today. I believe that God is in control. So I always look at myself like, say God is a farmer and I'm his best bull. And not every day that farmer is going to overwork his bull. You need to rest.
Yes.
So if it's a quiet day, that's God saying you need to rest.
Man. And it's funny how it play out sometimes. Because even in times when you might still want to push, nah, that appointment got canceled or something like this. So,
Yeah.
you know, just look like, all right,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just chill.
Yeah. And I have to go back to the beginning because it's like 6 months can go by of me being my heart broken. And then you get that phone call that one night
Yeah.
and changes everything.
Yeah, we up.
Yeah.
Today we're rich.
Yeah. Today we were rich.
Yes.
Man, put the eighth down and come solve these problems.
When have you ever made the first move? Let's get to it.
Whenever I ever made the first move.
Yeah. Yeah, that one right there. That one that popped up first. Say it.
Sheesh.
Yeah. That's the one I want.
That's a good question.
Take your time. No rush.
I was always that person that speak boldly. I never was really a fearful kid. So I'm not afraid of confrontation. So like I would say like my first move was when I dropped out of college, man. Like to me that was like a really bold move because you have to understand in that time you have your parents saying, oh, my son is going to college. You have people saying that you should stay in school, right? Education is the way. So for me to make that bold move and say, I'm not doing this, or even like leaving my father and my stepmom home, just one day, just like, you know what? I'm out. 18 years old, just turned 18, just couldn't even rent a U-Haul, finding some mom and pop shop to rent a vehicle and just move out and go get an apartment complex at 18. And at 18, I'm looking like 12. I'm small. To make that move, I could even put lights on,
Right.
no furniture, don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Yeah. I would think my first move was saying that, you know what, I'm going to take control of my life. So when I left school and left from my father and stepmom's house, that was my first move.
Were they supportive in your decision?
You know, at first, not too much, but my dad was never a person to really keep back his children. You know, that's one thing I said I love about my dad. You know, I'm a mom. They never really tried to manipulate me in that way. You know, they just go be. You know, I really appreciate them for that.
Your dad was a business owner. Like, did he go to school or anything?
No, he didn't.
Right.
You know, my dad and my story is very similar. It's so funny. It's very similar. But I think with my dad, you know, I tell him this so you can put this on record. He has fear. He has some form of fear of what people perceive him to be, you know, insecurities, like most people do. But the insecurities really come from the thoughts in your head. It comes from a thought and then becomes a feeling. And when that thought and feeling collides together, it's a seed. And that seed grows into a plant, into a tree, and it bears fruits. And it will be fruits of fear. And you will cast fears upon yourself and amongst other people.
We're taught to be afraid.
Yeah. You know, like
He
when
went to
people...
school for jewelry.
Yeah, he did. But you know, when people speak about business, the number one thing I always hear them say is that it's risky. Having a business is so risky. Having a business is so much risk. I don't see it as a risk. To me, a risk is jumping off the roof of your house and thinking you're not going to break a bone. To me, that's a risk.
Agreed. Tell me what you think of this. So you as a business owner,
Yeah.
I use the analogy of, or the metaphor, like you eat what you kill. You go out every day and you try to make a living, you know, the best way you know how. And whatever you make, you bring back. And that's how you eat. That's how you survive. A person who clocks in 9 to 5, they know I could go and give 100% today. No one gives 100% at work. I could give like 40% today. And every 2 weeks, every month, salary, however, whatever, I know that's going to hit my account. And I know what I can budget out, and I know what I'm going to eat every day.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing I don't have to even think about. So the risk is, okay, I don't do that. And now I put it all on my back and go out there and try to kill every day. Now, if I don't kill, I don't eat, but I'm used to eating. I'm used to eating.
Yeah.
So now, you know, and I'm eating from somebody else, and it's not to my potential, not for my purpose or nothing. It's for their dream, for their everything, but I'm still eating. Now I come out here, the fear, the risk, I might not eat.
Yeah, it's true.
That's jumping off that roof.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What you think of that? Cause I know, you know, you say the risk, ain't no risk.
Yeah.
And I feel you. Ain't no fear. I ain't afraid of nothing. However, if I'm used to that 9 to 5 life and now I'm finna switch that.
Yeah.
And then go out here and go kill every day.
Yeah.
It might be some fear.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, did you put the work in?
Yeah.
I have to ask, what's your faith?
Yeah.
And if you got faith and you put the work in, what am I afraid of?
Yeah.
You know, that's where it's at.
No, you're absolutely right. You have some people, if we were hunters, they just go for rabbit and berries.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wild,
Yeah.
the water
game.
buffalo.
You want big game. I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to do this. See, but that's you. It's in you to be this way.
That's just me, you know, it's like,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'm a killer, you know, it's
Right.
like,
Right.
in slangs, don't take it literally.
Yeah.
So, to me, like, if I'm going to live this life and have this experience, I'm like, do it.
Would you pass the rabbit to go for the water buffalo? Let me ask you that. Like,
Yeah, man.
along your path.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
To me, like,
I like
let that rabbit go be.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm feeling for a little night snack or something and rabbit pass by and I got the munchies or something, bye-bye rabbit. But I'm going to provide for my family for a month. You know, I'm going in. You know, we're sons of God, man. We got dominion over everything. So why not express my dominion? We're gods on earth. So why not do it? And I get it. 99% of people live life in fear. And then they hate on the 1%. But
Yeah.
You know, people always say like, why you want to do this? You know, why you want to do that? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, those type of people, you can listen to them for a little bit, but try to get far away from them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, right.
I hear you.
Yeah, I don't need no naysayers.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, you know, if I can qualify you and you give us some constructive information, yeah. And it ain't, you know, like, meaning like, okay, I presented something you telling me like, yeah, I see, but that might not, you know, and I know how you move. I see how, you know, I done qualified you.
Yeah.
I'll listen. I still make still go, but
Yeah.
you know, I'll at least take it in a little bit different than just
It's true. And
anybody
I don't
saying
have
no
fear.
to it.
And I don't have fear of being embarrassed.
Okay.
You know, I don't care about, you know, I feel embarrassed or shy. Like, it's not real to me.
Yeah.
If I was wrong, I'm man enough to say, you know what, Eric, I was wrong. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
you were right. And, you know, I've learned,
Yeah.
you know, I see myself.
All right. Well, let's get to the last one then.
Okay.
All right. Let's discuss something in your life you just can't seem to get over or push through. Like, even as time passes. Like, it's not that day-to-day type stuff. This, that, like, I can't understand why I keep going through this. Like, time and time again. Like, do you have anything like that in your life?
I used to. When I quote unquote, what the world may perceive to be, again, successful, I couldn't understand why the world thought or thinks a particular way. You know, like in the black community that, you know, you just can't be Black and Eric. I just can't be Black and Chad. You know, Eric he has to be, I don't want to say pinnacle, but he has to be every Black person.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you don't like, you can't say, well, I don't like rap music. I like opera.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're not cultured enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't say I like Victorian paintings or Renaissance paintings. You know, I gotta like, you know, painters of jazz or blues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's not good stuff. You know, I appreciate it.
Right.
You know, but, you know, I might like just wearing cowboy boots. You know, that's just how I feel at the moment, you know, and I'm an individual, you know, but I can still appreciate your beautiful sneakers.
Oh, I'll rock them all day though, but
Right.
that's the versatility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And us as human beings, like, I never see myself as just Black. I love being Black. Of course, I love my avatar.
No, you're not limited to your skin. You know, like that, the skin is just your logo. Like, people identify you as that, but you're an individual.
Yeah,
and
amen.
you like what you like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Yeah, man. And I feel as though, like, you know, in the Black community, at least in my time, like, there was a time where, you know, not even so much from white people, because I never got that, because white people actually gave me a lot of opportunity, you know, and that's because they see my ethics, my morals, my ability. Yes, sir.
I just want to support this out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my show if I did.
Yeah.
They should. White people should. The same way we're talking about, like, we're not limited to our skin.
Yeah.
I want to point this out.
Yeah.
White people should give you the opportunity.
Yeah.
They have the resources.
Yeah.
Like, it's the reason why they have the resources.
Yeah.
There were laws put in place to what we couldn't have. So we just playing catch up.
Yeah.
So if you find a white person who's willing to help you constructively, then you should. And you should be comfortable asking.
Yeah, of course.
So I just got to put that. That's a disclaimer.
No,
That's one
no.
of them disclaimers.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. For
you know,
real,
I
man.
I look at everything like algorithms, right?
Okay.
For this generation, we speak about algorithms. You know, you watch a particular program and YouTube will keep on feeding you programs similar to it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I say that to say this, like, you and I, say we're in a room and you're speaking to a white guy, right? And then a Black guy walks in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all men, so we all have something equal. We are men. But then you and I, because we're Black, we might have more in common.
Yeah.
Because we go through the Black experience.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
In the system.
Yes, sir.
So we will automatically navigate each other. Right? I know the white guy will start feeling like the minority. Right?
Okay.
Now, when you live in a society where it's predominantly white and they have built a system or a culture around that, it's an algorithm. That's what they feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, even as men, and a woman is here with us, if another woman walks in, no matter what the race, they will start talking about bags, makeup, and they will just go off to the side and we will go off to the side. Right? So of course, if I live in a society where it's predominantly white, it's not because they're being racist towards you. It's because it's an algorithm. They see themselves, and they're not doing it maliciously. They're doing it because you are trapped of who you are. So, yes, if I'm going to live in a culture or civilization, we have this saying that goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if I'm going to be in American culture and it's predominantly white, and it's predominantly white and they build a structure, if you go against the system, you're going to get yourself in a lot of havoc. So as a black man in America, I'm not saying that you give away who you are as an individual, whether if you're into your blackness or not. I suggest you should not be into something that deep. You should see yourself as a man first of pigment, but do not get caught up in the idea of, I want a seat on the table too. So they have to accept my culture and blah, 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 whatever. If you're Jamaican in America, do not come here with your Jamaican ideology and try to force it upon a different culture. The same way, if you're a white American, do not force your American ideology onto Jamaicans. You know, when there, do as the people do, and you're there for a reason. So I understand that, right? So I live my life still being who I am with my morals and ethics, but I understand the system and I'm here to play. So I play, right?
Yes, sir.
If people are using guns to hunt and you come up with a bow and arrow, it may be a little bit tougher for you to get that white buffalo or that buffalo, water buffalo.
Yeah.
But if you look at other people who are using guns around you and catching game, then I will say that you become friends with someone who's a gun maker. Find out the ways in which they do about it. Do not force your ideology on them. And you too, my friend, could become successful. Now, when you do that, you take those things that you learn, you bring it back home, you teach your sons, you teach your daughters that, and you build your civilization.
Yeah.
And you catch one white buffalo, now I can catch 10.
Right.
Because now I use what I know with my culture, plus with your culture, and I add to society. But it must be done gracefully. Just like how the sun sets and we don't realize it. But it just happens gracefully.
That gracefully part is key.
Yes.
But that's mindset.
Yes.
And different people have different mindsets.
Yes.
So I get you. I feel you on that.
Consciousness.
I'm gonna work my way back.
You're professional.
Bro, you said so much, boy. My boy be giving them to me. So with the guns, I'm gonna just start there first because that's what we ended on.
Yes.
So with the guns, like you said, as that person, you got to buddy up with somebody.
Yes.
You know why you got to buddy up with somebody?
Why is that?
There's no black manufacturers for guns.
Right. Yeah.
No black people make guns.
Yeah.
We don't have ships.
Yeah.
We don't have air carriers.
Yes.
We don't even have the banks anymore. We used to have banks up until 1924.
Yes.
We used to have a lot of banks, but we don't even have banks anymore.
We dropped the ball.
That's a term.
Yeah.
That's a term. Also, let's start, we're working our way back. Now we're on to the skin color.
Yes.
All right. And not being limited to your skin color. Like we talked about that, being an individual.
Yes.
And if another black man comes into the room, you know, how we have those type of experiences. So we might get a nod. We might not even talk to each other, but it's just, you know what I'm saying? I see you, my boy.
Yeah.
You know, because in the same sense of when it comes to white people, they see each other in themselves.
Yes.
So that's going to happen, right? And I think all of that is to divide us. That skin color stuff is to divide us.
Yeah, man.
So when it comes to that, I strive and I encourage my wife to strive to be a universal man.
Yes.
A universal woman.
Yes.
Just meaning that it's balance amongst all of us, meaning no one being mistreated for any reason.
Yes.
People who need help, give them the most constructive help.
It's good or bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at with it. I'll say, I want to define what I mean when I say justice though. Cause I'm into the harmony thing. Like I'm all into trying to find balance with nature, humans, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really into that.
Yeah.
a system that we're in right now,
Yeah.
it's not designed for that
Yeah.
in any kind of way.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't know what to do in them type of situations.
Well, I always say, like, if black people, if we feel that white people has stole our history from us, where would you get your history from? Right? To get your history, you have to be next to the people that took it from you, because people get so complacent that it's not being thought over a period of time. They get relaxed. And when they get relaxed, you're going to start knowing the information that was lost, right? So, for example, what I mean is that if I have a son and I thought in my business, he's going to take it seriously because I'm still here.
Right.
But if my son has a son and my son does not take it as seriously, his son gets weak and then the business gets taken away by an employee who outperformed them.
Right.
So that's what happened with blacks. We got outperformed. And we should take responsibility of saying that we got outperformed, right? It's not that because we're weak. Every time that we as a people believe that in white supremacy or blaming the white man, what we're really saying is that we got outperformed. We were once the champ in the boxing ring. We got knocked the fuck out. And now we want to bite the ears off like Mike Tyson. And you will always be remembered for biting the ears off. But if you had stayed in the gym, trained and be eloquent, you would have been outperformed. So we have to start taking responsibility from that and says, you know what? Us as a people, let us restart. Let us sit down. Let us have a conversation amongst ourselves and say, what are we doing wrong? The first thing that I've seen that's happening in the black community is that we're too angry and we're living in the past. We have to say, you know what? The past was the past. Let's sit here as a people and say, listen, we need to improve our music. We need to improve our minds. We need to improve our family structure. And once we do that, let us start building. It may take 6 months, but that one night, God will answer your call and you will have that opportunity and you will be on top again, right? Not to be on top of the white man, not to be on top of the Asian man, but to be in coexistence with him and share what we have as a people and have them appreciate what we have as a people, and we will then appreciate what they have as a people, right? When we go to Sears, we don't say we're going to a white business, we say we're going to Sears. Now, as a black people, we like to call this thing called black business, where we make it this effort to say, oh, I'm supporting a black business. Let's just say we're going to support Time Out, just so happens to be owned by a black man, not because he's black, but because he is putting out quality work. So if us as black people, we start putting out quality, who will say no to quality? No one does. If we start thinking in that way, that we do things in quality, which is ultimately luxury, we will be respected and we will have something that we attribute to society and we will be respected for that. And that way we don't have to force it down their throat. It will happen organically. And then we ourselves will be equals, not supremacy, but equals, because all men are equal under the eyes of God. So that's what us as a people, we need to do. And that's what has caused me to be where I am today. I don't hold any grudges towards white people. To know people, I love white people, I love black people, and I love all other cultures and races. But if you're not going to give me the quality, if you're not going to give me the customer service, then I'm not going. And when you have a majority of people behaving this way, that look a particular way, other people are going to identify with that banner of not quality. So when they see the black skin before, with the ignorant mind, before even know who Eric is, they think black skin equals not quality. Black skin equals not moral. And they don't even get to know you. But you know yourself. But you have to now show why you are different. I am beyond my black skin. Because things are done in algorithms. Things are done in ratio. And if the ratio people are behaving a particular way, you think about Bloods and Crips. You think about black people. You think about twerking. You think about black people. You think about the ghettos. You think about black people. Right? You think about MS-13, you think about the Latin man. But when you think about white people, it's one or two things you think about. You think about KKK or you think about white supremacy riches. The KKK is a gang no different than MS-13, no different than Bloods and Crips, right? So us as a people, we have to say, okay, these black people are doing Bloods and Crips or shooting or doing smash and grabs in jewelry stores. That is not who we are. We speak against it. We say, black people, we do not support that as a people. And when you call out your own, other races will say, well, you know what? These people are individuals, because we can see black excellence and we can see black negativity, and we'll all be treated as a people, as an individual. If that makes any sense.
Nah, bro, you gave me a lot. You see me over here. You gave me a lot, man. So I'm gonna start with one thing you said with how we're perceived, how people view us, how the world views us. Like, so he who controls the narrative controls the truth.
You're right.
So everything you just said, when you think of this is what you think of. When you think of this is what you think of.
Right.
Who controls that narrative?
Evil people.
Okay, I agree.
Yes.
But those evil people are white.
But you painted it with a broad brush, because they're good white people and they're bad white people.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how black people are portrayed.
Right.
Globally.
Right.
We don't have any control over that.
And that's what I'm saying. Us as a people, if we come together and we create a structure, because the Jews at one time were enslaved. The Asians were enslaved. There were even white people.
All those people got that word you didn't like.
What is that?
Reparations.
Yes. But
all of those people got that.
But
they're still getting it to this day.
But the thing is, but they're being controlled.
Yeah,
if someone gives you reparations, you're not being controlled. You don't have a master, right?
I don't get into that. You know me. I don't get into that stuff. But I did want to just point out the word that you don't like.
Yes.
The people that you're talking about.
Yes.
Received all of that, and they are continuing to receive that today.
Yes.
And they're in a better position than black people.
Right. But the thing is, if you truly believe in a creator.
I do.
If you truly believe in God, what will make you see and God do not see? God wants you to see yourself. When you can see yourself, he will then provide for you and he will make a path clear for you to walk. I did not get any reparations.
Yeah, I agree.
What I did was being patient, being humbled, didn't think much about myself in like, I deserve this and I deserve that.
No.
I went in there knowing that I'm going to work hard.
Yes.
I'm going for the buffalo.
Yeah.
His thoughts might break a limb. Mosquitoes are going to bite me. I do not have the gun. I have a spear. But I went in with the equipment that I had and did my best.
Even with all the money, all the success, as a black man, you worked hard, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you still mistreated off the basis of color?
I don't see it.
Do you feel it?
I don't feel it.
Good.
The reason why I say that, because I do not care.
Okay.
I honestly, and I look at you dead in your eyes, I do not care. I do not care what color or race, shape or form that you are. I do not care. Because if God is with you, who dare be against me? If God is with me, who dare be against me? Right? So I do not get caught up in the physical things of life. So I really don't care. If someone calls me a nigger, this, that, it doesn't care. That's just a stupid, hateful, angry person.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's blatant stuff. I mean, just mistreatment. Just because you felt like, man, I felt like that was a little different. You know?
Yeah. But life is different. You know, you drive, somebody show you a middle finger. I'm not going to go behind this person and try to middle finger him back. And it's like, okay, take your middle finger and kiss my ass. I keep it going.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't have time for that.
They can go that way.
That person is in hell. I know that. Yeah. So even if one white person or two white people or 10 white people come and say, I don't want to deal with fucking niggas, excuse my language. It's like, okay, that's 10 white people. Guess what? I got 50 other white people here that I'm getting money from.
Yeah.
That comes to my business and put money in my pocket. Yeah. Because of the hard work I'm doing. Okay. What about them? I get it. I'm Django on the horse, right? Other people want to get beaten because of eggs and shit. If you want to be weak and have another man overpower you like that, then go ahead and be a beta male. But I'm an alpha male. No one is going to do that to me, right? I'm Django on that horse. I'm riding through your neighborhood, whether or not you like it or not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it eloquently.
And you be saying so much stuff. So I just want to make sure I touch on the rules of the game. Understanding like the rules of certain things like is important to me. So I think, and we've been told that the game of life is like chess.
Yeah.
You've heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you believe it or not, but I've heard it. So I thought about that.
Yeah.
And I started learning how to play chess.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned when I was a child, but I ain't playing so long. So I was like, let me try to play again. Let me learn. And one thing I've noticed about that, if they're telling me that that's the game of life.
Yeah.
Two things I noticed off the game, like really quick. I smoke a lot of weed. I be in my head.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's point that out first.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow. So no matter how many times I win, white always moves first.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I could win 1,000 times. Every time we reset the game,
Yeah.
white always moves first.
Yeah.
So by that, offense, defense.
Yeah.
So white has now put black on defense automatically, the black pieces.
Yeah.
And the object of the game is to check the black king.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, that's deep. Like it's all these different pieces have different meanings and how they can move around the board.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that that's the life of game, like that's the game of life.
Yeah.
I need to understand those rules.
Yeah.
So I can believe in things.
Yeah.
But if I'm here playing a game, I need to put myself in the best position to win.
Yeah.
So with that, I can't sit down at the chessboard with the game, with the rules of basketball.
Right.
Or the rules of soccer or football. I can't. I need to learn the game of life.
Right.
So if I'm a black man moving in this world and you're telling me that I'm automatically put on defense, I need to understand that and I need to move accordingly.
Yeah.
And I need to always understand that the object of that game is for them to check me.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Just because I'm put on defense and I know that doesn't mean I can't, that I can't win.
Right.
I can still win.
Yeah.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
We was taught that too.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can still win. You just got to understand the game you're playing, understand the rules and move accordingly.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Again, you know, when people try to simplify your life, right, to a system, you know, life is not a system. Life is life. God give life. Man makes systems, right? So I could be in the world, but I don't have to be of the world. I could be in the system, but not of the system. But if I'm going to get caught up on white and colors and words and things, then you of the system, right? They can say white is white, but God could come and say in a very moment, that's not white, that's red. Then everybody fucked up.
Yeah, because it ain't even white.
Right? Everybody fucked
It ain't
up,
even
right?
white. It ain't even white.
What are you going to do? Argue with God?
Right.
Once God is in you and he's with you, fuck a system, right? So yes, play the game of chess, but then get caught up in the idea of chess, right? Because once you start looking at the colors and the white and the this, they enslave you. The chess game enslave you. That now has dominion over you. You have dominion over the chess game. So they can say, well, the white this and whatever. Say you say, show middle fingers. I'm on a forward movement.
Right.
A straight path.
Right.
You can live your crooked ways. And once you live like that, you're home free. You're free.
Yes, sir.
We are free men.
Thank you.
Brothers. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. So I end every show this way. All right. What do you call me? How did we meet?
I call you my brother. Not
Okay.
because you're black. Because we have kindred spirits. And we're sons of God.
All right. Now, how did we meet?
God's will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Ashe. Yes, sir.
Man.
Thank you. Thank
Peace
you.
be with you, brother.
Yeah, man. You too.
Thank you.
This is beautiful.
Put the F down. 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 Man, put the F down and come solve these problems.
Understand I don't know y'all. Remember, I love everybody. I am not your licensed therapist, and nothing shared on this podcast should be taken as medical, mental health, or legal advice. The discussions we have here are for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. We engage in open, honest conversations, sometimes including the mindful use of cannabis in a therapeutic setting. So kick back, take what resonates, and remember, always consult your own licensed professional for personalized guidance.